As we grow older, many of us notice that we start to enjoy our own company more. The energy we once had for social gatherings, long conversations, and meeting new people begins to fade. This change can be confusing, and sometimes even make us feel guilty or isolated. But what if I told you that this shift is completely natural and in many ways very healthy? In this script, we'll explore the psychological reasons behind why people often start pulling away from others as they age. We'll also look at why this change is not only normal, but can be an important part of personal growth and emotional well-being. Let's dive into the reasons one by one. Energy becomes a precious resource. When we are young, we often have what feels like unlimited energy. We go to parties, hang out with friends, make plans on short notice, and talk for hours. But as we age, we begin to understand that our energy is limited. Physical fatigue sets in more quickly, and mental fatigue becomes a real concern. This doesn't mean something is wrong with us. It means our body and mind are asking for more rest, more quiet, and more balance. Pulling away from people is often a way of protecting this energy. We begin to choose more meaningful conversations over small talk. We prefer smaller, calmer gatherings over loud, crowded ones. It's not about disliking people. It's about taking care of ourselves. Priorities begin to shift. In your 20s and 30s, building friendships and being socially active often feels like a priority. But with age, other things begin to take center stage. It could be family, personal goals, health, or simply peace of mind. This shift in priorities is completely natural. We start to realize what truly matters to us. If socializing feels forced or drains us more than it uplifts us, we begin to pull away. We no longer feel the pressure to keep up with everyone or attend every event. Instead, we start to value quality over quantity in relationships. Emotional maturity brings clarity. With age comes emotional maturity. We become better at recognizing what feels good and what doesn't. We also get better at setting boundaries. This means we may step back from relationships that are toxic, one-sided, or simply no longer align with who we are. It can be hard to let go of old friendships or distance ourselves from family members, but sometimes it's necessary for our well-being. This process can feel lonely at times, but it is often a sign of personal growth. Pulling away doesn't always mean you are angry or sad. It can simply mean you are evolving. We become more comfortable with solitude. When we are young, being alone can feel uncomfortable or even scary. There's a lot of pressure to be social and stay connected. But as we grow older, we often discover the beauty of solitude. We learn to enjoy our own company, to think more deeply, and to do things we love without needing anyone else around. This comfort with being alone is a big reason why we might start pulling away from others. We no longer feel the need to constantly be with people to feel happy or fulfilled. Instead, we find peace in quiet moments and strength in independence. Life experiences shape us. Every experience we go through leaves a mark on us. Over the years, we face challenges, heartbreaks, successes, and failures. These experiences shape our personality, our values, and our view of the world. Sometimes, this personal growth means that we outgrow certain people. It can feel like we no longer speak the same language or share the same goals. This isn't anyone's fault. It's just a part of life. As we grow, we naturally seek out people who reflect where we are now, rather than where we were years ago. This can lead to distancing from some relationships and forming new ones that better fit who we are today. We realize time is limited. One of the biggest changes that comes with age is a deep awareness of how limited time really is. We begin to see that every day, every hour, every moment matters. This understanding can make us more selective about how we spend our time and who we spend it with. We may no longer have the patience for gossip, drama, or surface-level conversations. We want depth, honesty, and connection. We begin to pull away from relationships that feel empty or emotionally exhausting. This isn't a negative thing. It's a sign that we're choosing to live more intentionally. We are choosing peace over noise, meaning over obligation. Social circles naturally shrink. Even without making any conscious decisions, our social circles tend to shrink over time. People move away, change jobs, get married, start families, or focus on different things. It becomes harder to maintain a large number of close connections. Instead of trying to keep up with everyone, many of us accept and even embrace having a smaller circle. A few close friends can offer more joy and support than a crowd of acquaintances. This natural shift is not something to fear. It reflects a deeper understanding of what relationships mean to us. Mental health and self-care become a priority. As we get older, we become more aware of our mental health needs. We start to notice what causes us stress and what brings us calm. For some, large social events or constant interactions can be overwhelming or draining. By pulling away, we are often trying to create space for healing, reflection, and self-care. We are not avoiding people out of hate or sadness, but out of love for ourselves. Taking care of your mental health is a strong reason to be selective about your social life. It means you are listening to your body and your mind. Technology changes the way we connect. In today's world, a lot of social interaction happens online. While this can be convenient, it can also feel less meaningful. As we age, we may begin to crave real face-to-face connection, or on the other hand, we may find digital interaction exhausting. This discomfort with the digital world may make us pull back from constant texting, social media, or video calls. We might prefer fewer but more meaningful interactions. This doesn't mean we are disconnected. It means we value authenticity in our connections. Pulling away doesn't mean you don't care. One of the most important things to understand is that pulling away doesn't mean you don't care about people. It simply means you are choosing how to engage based on what feels right for you. You can still love your friends and family deeply, even if you see them less often. You can still enjoy social time, even if you need more rest afterward. You can still be a good person, even if your life looks quieter than it used to. In fact, pulling away sometimes helps us to be more present, more thoughtful, and more intentional when we do connect with others. Conclusion: pulling away from people as we grow older is not a flaw or a failure. It is a natural part of maturing, learning, and protecting our well-being. It reflects emotional growth, self-awareness, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters. If you find yourself needing more alone time or being more selective about your relationships, know that you are not alone. Many people experience this shift, and it can lead to a more peaceful and meaningful life. Give yourself permission to change. Allow your social life to evolve. Most importantly, trust that what you need now is valid and worthy of respect, because growing older isn't about having less. It's about choosing better. And that makes total sense. The journey of aging teaches us to look inward. With each year, we gain more knowledge about who we are and what we value. And that internal clarity naturally changes how we interact with the outside world. The urge to withdraw from noise and chaos becomes a pursuit of inner peace and alignment. This process may look like solitude on the outside, but on the inside, it is often full of meaning. Older adults often describe this stage as a time of reconnection, not with others, but with themselves. Many start new hobbies, focus on their spiritual lives, or take better care of their health. This return to self is not selfish. It's a form of self-respect. You might find that you enjoy reading more than talking, or walking alone in nature more than attending events. You might have fewer but deeper conversations. And this doesn't mean you're lonely. It means you're growing. Let's be honest, aging also brings loss. People we love may pass away or move on, and our capacity for new emotional investment might become more cautious. Each connection begins to feel more sacred, more intentional. So we don't scatter our time and energy as freely as we once did. There's beauty in this careful choosing. When you do say yes to someone's company, it's heartfelt. When you do show up, you're present. This kind of connection is richer, even if it happens less often. Society often praises busyness and loudness, but there's wisdom in quiet. There's a kind of soft power in stepping back, in choosing stillness. And as you grow older, you become more attuned to this quiet wisdom. You stop explaining your choices and simply live them. Others might not always understand. Some may take your distance personally, but those who truly care about you will see the truth behind your silence. They will know that love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and in those whispers, you find yourself. In the gentle slowing down, you rediscover what it means to be whole. So if you're pulling away, embrace it. It doesn't mean you're fading. It means you're focusing. You're honoring your time, your heart, and your journey. That isn't just okay, it's wise. This is a time when the richness of your inner life becomes a foundation of your happiness. You realize that joy doesn't need to be loud. It can come quietly, like morning light through your window or the silence of a peaceful evening. You are no longer seeking to fill your time with people to feel valid. You understand now that your value doesn't depend on how full your calendar is, but how full your soul feels. The connections you do keep become your chosen family, your tribe. They are the ones who understand your silences, respect your space, and honor your truth. You give your time to those who see the real you, not just the social version of you. So let your social circle shrink if it must. Let the noise die down. Let the pressure lift. What you're making room for is yourself. The quiet you seek is not a void, it's a sanctuary. And in that sanctuary, you can heal, grow, and simply be. Because aging is not about isolation. It's about integration. Integrating who you've been with who you're becoming. And in that integration, you find peace. That peace is your reward. It is your wisdom. And it is beautiful. As we grow older, many of us notice that we start to enjoy our own company more. The energy we once had for social gatherings, long conversations, and meeting new people begins to fade. This change can be confusing, and sometimes even make us feel guilty or isolated. But what if I told you that this shift is completely natural and in many ways very healthy? In this script, we'll explore the psychological reasons behind why people often start pulling away from others as they age. We'll also look at why this change is not only normal, but can be an important part of personal growth and emotional well-being. As we age, we often find that our energy becomes more limited. The long conversations, late nights, and spontaneous plans that once felt effortless can start to feel draining. Physical and mental fatigue set in more easily, and we begin to realize our energy is a precious resource. It's not about withdrawing from life. It's about being more intentional with how we spend our time and who we spend it with. We start to prioritize rest, balance, and quieter moments. Social gatherings shift from being about quantity to being about quality. Small talk gives way to meaningful conversations, and loud parties are replaced by calm, intimate settings. Alongside this shift in energy, our priorities begin to evolve. What once felt urgent, keeping up with friends, attending every social event, saying yes to every invitation, begins to lose its appeal. Instead, we find ourselves more focused on family, personal well-being, and inner peace. We realize that some relationships, while once essential, no longer align with who we are becoming. This isn't a rejection of others. It's an acceptance of what matters most to us now. With age comes emotional clarity. We grow more attuned to what uplifts us and what drains us. Boundaries that were once difficult to set become necessary acts of self-respect. It might mean stepping back from certain relationships or limiting our social exposure, not out of resentment, but out of a deeper understanding of our emotional needs. These changes can feel lonely at times, but they are often signs of personal growth and healing. Another profound change is our growing comfort with solitude. While being alone might have once felt like loneliness, it now feels like space. Space to think, to reflect, to simply be. We learn to enjoy our own company, to find joy in quiet mornings or solo walks. It becomes clear that happiness doesn't always come from being around others, but from being at peace with ourselves. Life experiences also shape us in unexpected ways. The losses, lessons, and milestones of adulthood carve out new dimensions in our identity. As we grow, we sometimes outgrow people and places that once felt like home. This can be bittersweet, but it's a natural part of evolving. We begin seeking connections that reflect who we are now, not who we used to be. Time itself starts to feel different. We become more aware that it's finite. This awareness brings a new level of discernment about how and with whom we spend our days. We no longer feel the need to fill our calendars to feel fulfilled. Instead, we seek out authenticity, depth, and intention in our relationships. We're less interested in keeping up appearances and more interested in genuine connection. Our social circles naturally shrink, not because we're pushing people away, but because life pulls us in different directions. Careers, families, health concerns, all of these shape the way we engage with others. And we begin to embrace the beauty of a smaller circle, recognizing that a few deep, loyal friendships are far more nourishing than a crowd of surface-level acquaintances. As we tune in more closely to our mental health, we start to notice what triggers stress or anxiety. For many, large crowds or constant digital communication can feel overwhelming. Pulling back is often a way of creating space for self-care and inner calm. It's not avoidance, it's preservation. It's listening to what our mind and body need. Technology also changes the way we connect. For some, digital interaction can feel superficial or exhausting. In the end, growing older isn't about losing connection. It's about redefining it. It's about understanding that not every friendship has to last forever. Not every conversation needs to be had. And not every space needs to be filled with noise. As you evolve, so does the way you relate to the world. You begin to see that your worth was never meant to be measured by how many people surround you, how busy your calendar looks, or how loudly you live. It was always in the quiet strength of knowing yourself, choosing yourself, and honoring what you need. Pulling away from others doesn't mean closing the door on love or joy. It means opening the door to peace, clarity, and a deeper sense of purpose. It means living a life that feels true, not to anyone else's expectations, but to your own. So, if you find yourself withdrawing a little more with each passing year, trust that there's wisdom in that. It's not something to fix. It's something to understand, to honor, and maybe even to embrace. You're not fading. You're unfolding, slowly, beautifully, and exactly as you're meant to. And that is not only normal, it's something to be proud of,